Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with Ion Cinema, here to review The Midnight Sky, the seventh film directed by George Clooney, which will be released on Netflix December 23rd, 2020. So this is based on a novel by Lily Brooks Dalton, who is also involved as a consulting producer, and adapted by Mark L. Smith, who's written many screenplays, of course, The Revenant and Overlord being among a couple of the ones I really admire. This film is set in February of 2049, and we meet George Clooney as scientist Augustine Lofthouse, who is in the Arctic Circle at the Barbeau Observatory. We're told that this is taking place 3 weeks after the event, and that being kind of an extinction level apocalyptic event that the parameters of which we aren't quite sure. It's just that everybody else that's at this observatory is being evacuated to various underground layers that are built for temporary survival purposes, but George Clooney as Augustine is staying behind because he has a terminal illness that requires he have transfusions, and he has decided that it is not necessary for him to accompany his colleagues. While he is at this observatory, he recognizes on one of the various screens within the observatory that there is a survey team that's still coming from space that has not had opportunity to find out what's happening on Earth. A ship known as the Ether, and we're made to understand that it's a group of 5 people that have been surveying a potential place to colonize. We also come to learn via flashback where Ethan Peck, the grandson of Gregory Peck, playing a younger version of George Clooney, in his younger years had developed research examining potential places where humans would eventually migrate when they have a need to do so. So then it becomes split between these kind of two situations of humans cut off by communication. George Clooney eventually sees a young girl of about 6 or 7 who's apparently suffering from elective mutism. We learn her name is Iris, and she kind of accompanies him as he has to make a journey from this observatory to another weather station that has a stronger antenna so that he can communicate with the crew of the Ether, which is run by the flight commander, played by David Oyelowo, Sully, played by Felicity Jones, who's in a romantic relationship with the flight commander, and she's going to give birth to his child soon. There's also Kyle Chandler, Demian Bichir, and Tiffany Boone as Maya. And they go through kind of the customary things that you see happen. They eventually do get through to Augustine, and come to find when they finally get a glance at Earth that the weather patterns, it looks like the Earth is kind of on fire in the sky. As far as apocalyptic films go that don't want to define the parameters of what's going on, it's not necessarily anything new, but more of human behaviors in this environment as they contend with the potential of the end of human life on Earth as they know it. However, this glacially paced film isn't entirely innovative or interesting all the time, and Clooney is certainly not Tarkovsky, and neither is he Steven Soderbergh, who remade Tarkovsky's Solaris. So there's a lot of kind of dead space in the film. And not that there has to be a lot of action to keep anyone engaged, it's just there's no real kind of emotional component as well. It's immediately clear that there's something off about this little girl that for whatever reason he takes through a snowstorm in the Arctic Circle, despite the dangers. And then the second half of the film really does tend to focus on this these 5 people that are also drawn a little bit superficially. The Peck connection is interesting because Clooney also makes a point to show a clip from Stanley Kramer's film On the Beach from 1956, I believe, which is about a nuclear fallout kind of ending the world and the last remaining humans, a band of people on a ship that's right outside Australia, the last place to kind of suffer from the fallout. These people are contending with their lives very similarly. Although that was kind of a more interesting film and took the time to effectively characterize people and their desires and needs and their last wishes before the impending doom. The score by Alexander Desplat, who, yes, he has been nominated for 11 Academy Awards and won for Grand Budapest Hotel, has a very leading, overriding score that is also sometimes jaunty and corny, especially in the establishing sequences in the ether. Overall, I would give The Midnight Sky 2 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.